This is 9 News with Davina Smith.
Good morning. We start with breaking news. The federal government is launching a task force to investigate COVID deaths in aged care. This from Chief Medical Officer Professor Paul Kelly a little earlier.
There is one state that is very much on board for assisting us with this, and that person has assured me, that Chief Health Officer has assured me that we'll be able to get at least some very good granular detail.
A Today Show investigation this morning exposing deep flaws within the system and worrying allegations of neglect. Christina Hearn has this exclusive report.
Residents I've spoken to in aged care have told me of their despair, locked in their rooms for weeks while their aged care facility battles COVID outbreaks and staff shortages. Stanley McPherson has been locked in his room since Christmas. His daughter used to visit outside his screen door every day until that too was considered a COVID risk.
It's terrible. You're looking at the four walls and it's terrible. They can't lock us away like this.
The aged are the forgotten, and it's not right. I'm sorry, but it's not right.
It's a similar story in regional Victoria. 92-year-old Ken Dyer and his wife of 67 years, Margaret, have also been locked in their rooms for weeks with no fresh air, exercise or visitors.
It's the worst feeling I've ever had because it leaves you drained.
Oh, I walked in and Mum was just slumped. Sleeping curled up in a chair, looking frailer, just in that short space of time.
Tell us what condition the room was in.
There was cotton buds on the ground that had been used for sores. The floor was not clean. They looked beshadowed. Mum had all bits of food and everything down her top.
Ken and Margaret are yet to receive their booster shot. This is despite the federal government promising that all aged care residents would have received their third dose by January 31. Ken Dyer tells me that he feels forgotten in every way.
16 and 17-year-olds can get a booster shot from today after the TGA and ATAGI approved the Pfizer vaccine for the age groups.
My daughter is one of them, and she's already indicated she'll be looking to make a booking in the coming days. And that's what we encourage and urge all of our teenagers and all of our families to consider.
The latest vaccine data has revealed a lag in the booster uptake in Australians under the age of 40, with only 1/3 receiving a third dose. Well, new figures reveal senior Australians are being hit hardest by the cost of living pressures. We'll go live to Canberra and our federal politics reporter Jonathan Kersley. Jono, good morning to you. This is shaping up as a key election issue.
It absolutely is, Davina. The cost of living is a political battle as much as it is a financial battle for many Australians. Now, in a week where the Prime Minister has been asked if he knew the cost of bread, milk and petrol, Scott Morrison has toured a supermarket in Sydney talking fresh produce and suggesting he wanted to fill a trolley, while the cost of what everyday Australians are paying for continues to climb. In many capital cities and regional areas, housing rents are at record highs. Remarkably, Davina, in New South Wales or Victoria, not one suburb could be considered affordable for essential workers. New data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics shows who's shouldering the worst of the pain from increases in living expenses. For pensioner households, the annual rise was 3.4%. That is higher than any other category. For younger Australians with a job, that figure is just over 2% over the last 12 months. Food tops the list of expenses, and in just over 3 months, you'll have noticed it, the cost of fuel for your car, petrol, has jumped 6%. The Prime Minister has said it is an issue that matters. Anthony Albanese had this to say this morning.
They haven't delivered on the promises that they said they would deliver when Scott Morrison became the Prime Minister 4 years ago now. Like an anti-corruption commission, it's still not there. They don't have a plan for the economy, and they haven't learned from the mistakes that they've made.
The government says it's trying to get more people into their first home and put downward pressure on prices, but that is easier said than done. Voters feeling hip pocket pain, Davina, will be looking which way to go come polling time.
You're right about that, Jono. OK, thank you. Well, the US is deploying thousands of troops to back up European allies as the Ukrainian crisis escalates. Here's our US correspondent, Amelia Adams.
This is a significant move by Washington, a strong signal to Russia and the world that America will help protect NATO countries in the event of further Russian aggression. In the coming days, 3,000 US troops will head to Germany, Poland and Romania. The Pentagon very clear that this is a US decision, not a NATO decision. And it's a proactive move because Vladimir Putin refuses to withdraw tens of thousands of troops along Ukraine's border. Today, the Russian military released more video of its troops taking part in drills in Belarus, and satellite images show Moscow is continuing its military build-up along the border.
We want to make sure that he knows any move on NATO is going to be resisted.
The main message is Russia de-escalate now or face severe consequences.
Also on the diplomatic front today, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson spoke on the phone with Vladimir Putin. The UK Prime Minister warning any further Russian incursion into Ukraine would be a tragic miscalculation. Both leaders agreed aggravation is in no one's interest. As for the US troop deployment, Moscow has described it as a destructive step which could undermine the negotiation process.
Boris Johnson's time as British Prime Minister could be rapidly running out. 9 Conservative MPs have confirmed they've now submitted letters of no confidence against him, but the real number could be as many as 17. Outrage is growing among Mr Johnson's own ranks after this week's damning report on parties held at number 10 Downing Street during COVID lockdowns. 54 letters are needed to trigger a vote on the Prime Minister's leadership. Well, history was made at the Winter Olympics last night with the Australian curling team competing for the first time. Damien Rutman reports from Beijing.
Certainly everyone loves an underdog story, and from the words of Tali Gill, it was oh so close. Of course, Tali and Dean Hewitt making history here, the first Australians to represent the country in the sport of curling at an Olympic Games, and it was very close. They took on the Americans, who were ranked 6th in the world. It was all tied up at 5-all. Tali had the opportunity to win it with her last throw of the stone, but it missed the Americans' rock and it went through the house, and we went down 6-5. Now, the Australians will have to back up pretty quickly. They have another match shortly against China, and then there'll be a third game against Czech Republic later in the day. Our mogul skiers will also hit the ground or hit the snow running pretty early as well. They've got qualifications in the mountains later this evening, and of course we will also learn later today who will be the flag bearers for our opening ceremony tomorrow night.
A live music venue shuts in Sydney as the government plans to revive the industry. But is it too little, too late? Streets flooded, residents evacuated in the middle of the night as a water main bursts. And after hundreds of years of searching, a maritime mystery finally is solved.
Strangers.
We just get on like magic.
On honeymoon. As love takes hold.
We're both just really happy.
I have very few imperfections. It's just one of my toes.
Stop it! The Honesty Box.
Are you willing to really try?
Rips hearts.
I'm not saying you're not a man or anything like that.
Apart.
Smile, princess.
More like a horror movie than a honeymoon.
Tonight, 7:30. Then Sunday, married's final weddings.
NBN is made for more. What's that mean?
More online business. More farming.
More smart farming.
More than you can imagine.
Cool.
More speed, more fibre upgrades, more regional support. NBN, made for more.
Why not? I'll marry you. You.
Dad, that's you!
Marry me.
J Furnishing Superstore mattress trade-in on now. Trade in your old mattress to our premium range and get up to $1,000 off, plus free mattress removal. J Furnishing Superstore, your local furniture store.
The moment when you've realised you've made a difference in a student's life is extremely rewarding. If I was going to give my younger self some advice, I'd say, go with your gut. Charles Darwin University is the perfect study environment. You study online, but with loads of practicals at real schools, which are close to your home. Thanks to Charles Darwin Uni, you hit the ground running and you'll never look back. So what are you waiting for?
Are you sharing your home with ants, cockroaches, spiders or rats? With Quack Pest Control, we can help get your property back. With our yearly treatments and reminders, your home can remain pest-free. Specialising in domestic and commercial applications, with over 50 years of Territory family experience, call our friendly staff today. Quack Pest Control. All our patients die.
At the Optical Superstore, you gotta be happy with that. Be happy.
Health Fund members with optical cover can be really happy with no out-of-pocket expenses on 2 pairs of single vision glasses. Choose thinner, lighter lenses or quick tint lenses which darken in the sun, or polarised sunglasses. Or select 1 pair of precision multifocal glasses. That's right, all with no out-of-pocket expenses. Optical Superstore, Alice Springs, Casuarina Square, Darwin Mall, Gateway, Palmerston.
As her family slept, little Cleo was snatched away. The untold story
Someone has her.
that will echo around the world.
Shaking so much, my jaw was shaking. I felt powerless.
Surprising revelations in the most powerful tell-all you'll ever see.
Queensland has recorded another 9 COVID deaths and just over 8,500 new cases. Parents are being urged to get their children vaccinated ahead of the return of school next week, with vaccination rates for 5 to 11-year-olds sitting at just 35%. And the state's Chief Health Officer has also carried out an Australian-first study of COVID testing on the Gold Coast, which revealed many people who tested positive were unaware they had the virus. Well, New Zealand is set to remain closed to Australian travellers for some time. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern laying out the timeline for the resumption of the travel bubble. Returning and fully vaccinated New Zealand citizens will be allowed back in first. That starts from the end of the month.
Families and friends need to reunite. Our businesses need skills to grow. Exporters need to travel to make new connections. It's time to move again.
Australian travellers will be welcomed back no later than July. A boost today to the live music industry for New South Wales. Great Southern Nights will run again from March 18 to April 10, featuring over 500 gigs at venues across the state. It's hoped the event will inject life into the industry and help boost the economy after the Omicron wave. But for some businesses, it is too little too late. The iconic Lansdowne Hotel in Sydney's Inner West announcing its closure overnight.
There's almost always an alternative use to the space. We've seen that with the Lansdowne. Now, unfortunately, government doesn't have a role to play there. That's a commercial decision for the landowner.
Landlords plan to turn the live music space into accommodation. Gigs will continue there until April. A national crackdown on illegal guns and unregistered firearms is underway. People urged to come forward with information or hand in any of their own.
You have an illegal firearm in your possession, do the right thing and hand it in.
There's an estimated 260,000 unregistered guns in circulation in Australia. A truck driver has been rushed to hospital in a serious condition after the B-double he was driving on the Gold Coast rolled. The 25-metre long vehicle crashed on the M1 off-ramp at Gavin this morning, causing major traffic delays. It's believed the truck was loaded with rapid antigen tests. Thieves have smashed their way into a boutique in Melbourne's southeast, stealing designer goods. The windows of Eurotrash were shattered, debris strewn across the footpath after the robbery around 5 a.m. Detectives are trying to work out exactly what was stolen. At this stage, no arrests have been made. A burst water main has caused chaos in the middle of the night for a handful of families in Sydney. Up to 6 homes flooded in Turramurra on the upper North Shore. A main road also cut off. Billionaire Twiggy Forrest is taking Facebook to court, bringing criminal charges against the social media giant over a cryptocurrency scam. Mr Forrest alleges the platform scammed users into investing using his name and image to defraud victims.
I'm very serious about doing whatever small part I can do to protect the innocent from exploitation.
The matter will be heard in court in March. Actor and TV co-host Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended from American talk show The View for 2 weeks after her controversial comments about the Holocaust provoked outrage. The 66-year-old declared the Second World War genocide was man's inhumanity to man and involved 2 white groups of people. She later apologised. A leaked tweet from the ABC Network's news president to staff confirms her suspension. Well, Kate Middleton has showed off her rugby skills this morning, the Duchess of Cambridge stepping onto Twickenham Stadium in London as the new royal patron of Rugby Football Union and Rugby Football League. She's taking over the role from Prince Harry, who handed back the patronage when he stood down as a working royal. Long-time climate forecaster Punxsutawney Phil has delivered some grim news on the US winter. The legendary groundhog has made his annual appearance in Pennsylvania, unfortunately predicting there will be 6 more weeks of chilly weather. The ritual dates back to 1887, but really took off in popularity in 1993 after the movie Groundhog Day, starring Bill Murray. Well, 2 men on the run after an armed robbery in Western Sydney. Next, a father left terrified. We will speak to him. Deep in the ocean off the coast of America, a vital piece of Australian history finally found. And Test captain Pat Cummins refuses to back under-pressure coach Justin Langer.
Download the 9 News app. Access all the news you'll ever need when you want it, at your fingertips, with the free 9 News app. You've got to be joking.
Not happy at all.
Families build for curbs and gutters. Built 16 years ago.
Nearly as big a bunch of buffoons as the old council.
The blatant cash grab that defies belief.
$978.54.
Wow.
It's wrong.
A current affair tonight.
Why is cornflakes my perfect bowl?
It's brightens my day.
It reminds me of my absolutely gorgeous mama. Everything is better shared, especially cornflakes.
Nice moustache.
Nice moustache too.
Come home to the home you love with Cam Interiors. Scandinavian-designed furniture that is beautifully constructed at prices that will amaze you. If it's in our store, it can be in your home. Cam Interiors. Furniture you love to live with. Stewart Highway, Berrima.
Gateway is absolutely Darwin's easiest place to park, shop and play. Enjoy all your favourite stores. And once you've ticked off your to-do list, why not grab a bite at the food court with delicious food from around the world? Or catch a movie at events. Come on, be entertained. You're always welcome. At Gateway.
Swing into action at the Top End's Premier Golf Club. Spend a relaxing day on the green with family and friends at the NT's only PGA golf course. Enjoy 2-for-1 golf Monday and Tuesdays with junior golf every Tuesday from 3:30 p.m. Dine at our family-friendly restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner with breakfast on weekends. Catering available for functions. Enjoy live music Friday and Sundays and Thursday night trivia. Palmerston Golf and Country Club. Now's the time.
Right now, you can get 2.9% approved business rate for ABN holders on selected Hilux. Like Hilux 4x2 Workmate Petrol from just $28,990 drive away. Or Turbo Diesel from only $33,490 drive away. Or how about 2.9% finance across selected Hilux 4x4 Workmate, SR and SR5 for ABN holders. Race into Bridge Toyota, Darwin and Palmerston and place your order today. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
If you see something amazing, become a 9 News source. shoot it, send it, see it on 9 News.
It's been a terrifying night for a petrol station employee in Sydney, held at knife point during an armed robbery in Campsie. James Wilson has the story.
Two men wearing hoods and masks entered this budget petrol station here on Canterbury Road in Campsie just after midnight. One of the offenders brandishing a large kitchen knife, threatening a male employee. CCTV shows the other offender attempting to kick in a door to gain access to the counter. When that failed, the duo focused their attention on worker 63-year-old Victor Habshi, the father of 3 from Liverpool, recounting the terrifying ordeal as he frantically tried to open the till and give the men cash.
One of them holds a knife and knocks the counter with a knife and loud voice, "Give me money, give me money." I told him, "I will give you the money, I will give you the money."
The duo fled on foot with around $1,000 in cash. Police arrived in minutes, but a search of the area failed to locate the armed robbers.
In many of these violent offences, the offenders prey on those that are vulnerable, and the very small gain is minimal compared to the years in jail that they will face.
Victor, who's been working at this service station for the past 7 years, has been left shaken by the incident. It's the third time the business has been robbed in the past decade.
TV personality John Burgess is in a Perth hospital this morning following a health scare. It's believed the former game show host is being treated in ICU for a bacterial infection. The 78-year-old is now in a stable condition and reportedly in good spirits. Novak Djokovic will have a COVID vaccine, according to his biographer. Watching Rafael Nadal win his 21st Grand Slam at the Australian Open has allegedly prompted the tennis star to change his mind. A British postal service is investigating after a video was posted online of postmen staggering in the street after apparently accidentally eating brownies laced with cannabis. One postie was seen looking disorientated in a southwest London street and had to be helped by a colleague. It's understood the group had helped themselves to the package after it was left undelivered for a month. Sport now, and Test captain Pat Cummins has refused to say whether he wants coach Justin Langer to be handed a contract extension.
It lays in Cricket Australia's hands. It's Jail's been doing a fantastic job. He's been there for 4 years. I think his contract's obviously up soon, so they're just going through a evaluation process at the moment.
Langer's fate is set to be decided at a Cricket Australia board meeting tomorrow. The Dolphins are slowly starting to build their inaugural NRL squad, signing another Melbourne star. New Zealand international Kenny Bromwich has agreed to move north and join the Redcliffe-based side from 2023. He'll meet up with his brother Jesse, who's also agreed to join Wayne Bennett's coached team. To the AFLW, Fremantle star Kira Bowers won't be able to defend her League Best and Fairest award after she was suspended for 2 matches by the match review officer. An off-the-ball bump on Kirsty Lamb has been classed as rough conduct in the Dockers' 6-point win over the Bulldogs. Motorsport fans are in for a real treat this year with the Speed Series to be broadcast live on Stan Sport, featuring 6 different car racing categories.
It's like the TCR cars, we've got GTs, Trans Am, so a great mix of motorsport that'll really get everybody excited.
The first round is in Tasmania next weekend and includes supercar star Michael Caruso and Fabian Coulthard. Well, 2-time world surfing champion Tyler Wright is into the semi-finals of the first ever women's tour event in Hawaii's iconic Pipeline. The wave of the day, though, it belonged to local star Carissa Moore, who scored a 9.5 in the round of 16 on her way into the semis. Big breaking news now on a major maritime announcement. The mystery of the final resting place of James Cook's Endeavour has finally been solved. The director of the National Maritime Museum has confidently declared a shipwreck in Newport Harbour in the US is the famous vessel.
As this vessel played a critical role not only in the history of the United Kingdom, but also New Zealand, of course Australia, and now also the United States of America.
It comes after 22 years of investigating several 18th century shipwrecks in a 2 square mile area around Rhode Island. Australia will play a role in getting the first woman onto the moon with a South Australian satellite company to partner with NASA. Fleet Space Technologies is opening its first US headquarters in Houston, the heart of the human space exploration. Two British women with no previous experience have smashed a world record for the fastest female pair to row nearly 5,000 kilometres across the Atlantic. The Friends beat 35 teams from around the world, battling monster waves, heat, blisters and even overcoming a capsizing. And one of our nation's most iconic landmarks has been splashed with red, the sails of the Opera House changing colours to signify the beginning of the Lunar New Year. It marks the year of the Tiger, hoping to bring luck, prosperity and happiness. Beautiful, isn't it? OK, we'll have the weather for you coming up after the break.
For the first time,
There is green and there is blue. If you're blue, you're blue.
see both sides. No snitching, no ratting on. Of life inside.
The public don't see what we go through.
From the first day.
If you can't defend yourself, you're not going to survive.
Through the raids, the riots.
They see us as the enemy.
And the raw emotion.
First thing I want to do is get my little family back. Try and move on from this.
Australia Behind Bars.
I think it's about time people hear about it.
Presented by Melissa Doyle. Starts tonight after Married on 9.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with Coles Aussie Lamb Mince, a feast fit for the grill. It's award-winning and just $7.50 a pack. Bite into a juicy summer feast and get it in-store or with click and collect at Coles.
Can't see a thing. Get free polarized lenses in your second pair from the 149 range or above, saving $100. Should've gone spec saves.
At Autobarn, get the works for work. Carry more gear with a Runner Rack Roof Rack, now 15% off. And load your tools in a Garage Tough toolbox from $109. Autobarn.
Top Gear, low prices.
Bed Match at 40 Winks takes the confusion out of buying a bed. And right now, get any size mattress for the price of a single. That's a queen, king or super king mattress for the price of a single. But hurry, limited time only. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
Keep cool this summer. Purchase an eligible split system air conditioner unit and receive a cash card up to $400. Plus the chance to win 1 year's worth of electricity paid for up to $2,000. Now available at Retrovision.
Oz Designs offers screen printing and promotional products, textile souvenirs, industrial rags and secure document shredding. Every purchase you make supports inclusion in your community. Oz Designs, another initiative of HPA, offering NDIS coordination of supports.
Fox Education and Consultancy for your career in health, nursing, aged care and disability. Vet student loan and Northern Territory government subsidies available. Choose your new career or upgrade your skills now. Call or visit us online for further information.
All new episodes of Hot Seat with new life-changing wins. New Millionaire Hot Seat, weekdays on 9.
Today's weather for you now. The rain will start to ease in Brisbane, but a storm is still possible, 28 the top. Showers for Sydney, cloud for Canberra, grey skies in Melbourne, reaching a top of 20 degrees. The showers will clear in Hobart, reaching 24 in Adelaide today. Perth, wow, a scorcher, 38 degrees. Storms and a top of 30 for Darwin. A few showers for Brisbane tomorrow. It'll be wet again in Sydney as well, 25 degrees. Canberra reaching 20. The sun should finally come out in Melbourne, 25 degrees. 20 for Hobart, 27 in Adelaide. Perth, no good news, sorry, 39 tomorrow and storms for Darwin. And looking ahead to the start of the weekend, overcast in Brisbane, showers for Sydney, Canberra reaching 20, sunny and 27 in Melbourne, grey skies for Hobart. Perth, I wish I had good news, 40 degrees on the weekend. And that is 9's Morning News. The afternoon news at 4 o'clock, 5 p.m. in Adelaide and Perth. I'm Davina Smith. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Previously